Need a beer.
I have a box next to me.
You're addicted.
You're addicted.
Are we going to talk about the hurricane? That's something we can talk about. Everybody else is doing it.
We have to at least topically mention it, just so our viewers know we could lose power and signal.
We're gonna be fine.
Be safe, guys.
Carson and Chris have joined me. We are here, Warp Charge Gaming, Thursday night.
Oh my God, we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
Hurricane Florence, guys. Watch out. I'll get it out of the way right now.
There's a real fear. There's been plenty of memes about how Virginia doesn't care about the hurricane.
That's why it didn't hit us.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly concerns, but I think we're going to be just fine. At least looking outside right now, the weather looks just fine. So we should be able to get through an hour worth of the usual 40k rants and raves, huh?
Damn right.
Yeah, so action
through an
hour worth of, there we go, just checking to make sure we're live. I see the YouTube, things are good. So yeah, we'll have James probably jump in here in a minute. We're just going to, be bullshitting about the stuff that we talk about, and that is 40k.
Man, so some 40k has been happening, George, huh?
Yeah, there has been some 40k. I got 2 games in the last 2 days. Both streamed on the Warp Charge. Pretty cool. Played you and played Carlin today.
How'd those games go?
Well, the Space Wolves, they won. So
Hey-o.
I'm kind of smiling. It felt good. It was great.
For all the people on the internet that I've heard crying that the Space Wolf Codex isn't any good, I've been saying, man, like, there's things in that codex that are very subtle that, I think it's overall a good book. Like, are you going to see mono Space Wolves taking, GTs? Probably not, but it's not a bad book.
Right. And then I wonder if Chapter Approved there's things that Chapter Approved could do that would be subtle, that would affect the overall game and not just Space Wolves directly, that would help them quite a bit,
Absolutely.
Like the vein of Chapter Approved is typically, if there is a way that it nerfs something, it's not usually like putting the finger, like not usually saying, okay, Tau, you can only bring 3 commanders. Sometimes that happens, but typically it's more like the rule of 3 or the deep strike rule, or not being able to put powers on things that land in. They don't say warp time, you're nerfed, quicken, you're nerfed. They do a rule that affects things in general that make other things better. What kind of generalized rule to the game change? I mean, CP farms alone, fix that, and that'll make the Space Wolves more competitive.
I'm really excited, honestly, just to see what Chapter Approved does, because it's, at this point, it could be anything. The FAQs have been doing really well to address things. The beta rules I don't feel are bad currently. Obviously, there's things people have problems with in the games. I mean, people are really griping about the fact that, so many of the same lists, exact same variant of the list, swept the Nova for 40k and, other GTs, etc.
There's been some rumors about some things that have already been spilled. Have you been seeing any of these rumors about FAQ expectations?
I've saw some like at least theory crafting and discussion, but like I haven't been on at all like really today. Hey, James is trying to join.
Yeah, James jumped in with the main thing that seems to be pretty readily agreed to is that the Castellan Knight is going to be taken over 700 points.
Ooh.
Yeah. So step one. Then beyond that, I've heard rumor that there's going to be some changes to, and this was like they were talking about this on Spiky Bits on the Long War last night as well. But some of that like CP farms, they're not going to go away, but they're still going to be good and like a thing, but not so crazily in some sense of the word. So it might be like, sure, there's still going to be those like 5-up, get a command point back or combos, but maybe not so many mixed faction command point grabs like they did with like Feel No Pain.
I was discussing on a lot of the chats. I spit out like at least 3 different ideas of how to fix it. Just like talking on all the like big like competitive 40k groups and whatnot.
Yep.
People had some good ideas. I mean, I don't know how it's gonna get fixed. I saw a lot of things that I think would work. I don't know what is the best fix, but I accept our overlord's decision.
Yeah. Well, James, how you doing? Are you make it in okay, bud? Check,
No.
James.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
Cool.
there he is.
How you doing, dude?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were on Discord or not, so I was trying to get everything to work.
Aha.
Gotcha. Just checking in. Everything sound okay for you? You there with us?
Yeah, man. You guys talking about some rumors, huh?
Yeah. Talking about the old. We're talking about how Space Wolves were just one toot my own horn. I pulled out a win today live on stream versus Connor's Elves as well as Chris's. Now, granted that both y'all have been practicing and training with other lists, and you both brought a fun new idea to my Space Wolves, and I did a little bit of tailoring to my list, knowing what I was going up against. Well, you guys didn't necessarily tailor to Space Wolves. I was like, oh, I'm going against Chris and all his big bugs, las cannons.
Hey, I mean, just something as simple as your sagas, which don't necessarily have to be fixed for the game.
Right.
The Monster Hunter one is gross against most Tyranid armies.
I agree. Maybe even some tank, maybe like some armies with, parking lots.
What up, Comet Demon?
And I got for funsies, just 'cause I got the picture up and we're talking about it. I actually have the two different lists that I played. So here's the list I played Chris with, and in both cases, both today and yesterday, I used a Space Wolf Brigade. Just before the Codex dropped, I picked up a bunch of these units here at Battlegrounds because I knew that they were going to make infantry good in some sense of the word, and I didn't have any to fill in my ranks. So I grabbed like a boatload, like 60 dudes.
He got some cool guys.
Yeah.
By the way, George, I have to check again, but did you say you needed some missile launchers?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have at least 2.
Okay. Yeah, I could use some. But yeah, the main trick of the trade here, are the laser destroyers. Those are in there particularly for Chris, knowing that he brings
They're terrifying.
Knowing that he brings a bunch of big bugs, and particularly the Tyrannifexes. I wanted a way to kill them easy, and it was cool that there's a nice utility in the Codex called the something of the Beast Slayer, Saga of the Beast Slayer, and gives your warlord +1 to wound versus vehicles and monsters. So I put that on the Chaplain Venerable Dread, which is a Forge World Dread in the upper right there. And he's one of the only character dreads that doesn't have a name. So you're able to give him both relics and warlord traits that aren't unique, that are like predetermined. And so I was able to give him a twin las cannon and make him kind of a hunter for these big bugs and try to land those big kills. I would soften the blows with those Forge World Rapier carriers running laser destroyers. Those things are strength 12 -4, and then they do d6 damage, but then take it one more step. It's you roll a d6 when they wound, and then on a 1 they do a d6. On a 3 through 5 they do 2d6, and if you nail a 6 they do 3d6 damage. And this is like an 80-point unit.
Yo, you rolled that 6 on one of my Hive Tyrants and just like diced him.
3d6. It's like macro for regular things.
You did like 12 wounds, even though he only had like 10 left.
Yeah. So that's I literally wasn't getting my saga because I was overkilling things with other units. But so that was cool, and then I decided to go with a less dreadnought heavy version. I wanted to take as much of a mix, and today I brought this list, and that is basically trading out those extra dreadnoughts to take just Murderfang and a 7-man beast squad of Thunderwood Cav. Still the same difference with 3 units of Longfangs with heavy bolters. That's what I've been trying so far. I haven't decided on a better choice, but I definitely like the reroll 1s on them by default. And be that backfield objective scorer is pretty cool. Got some woofing in there. Dude, I was stacking mad effects. And that was one of the coolest things about our game, Chris, was the Hunter's Unleashed ability, being able to heroically intervene you within 6 inches. I was doing the 6-inch heroic intervenes all over the place.
Yeah, you really were.
Yeah, you gave me lots of opportunity to, but it was pretty fucking cool.
I mean, the way you were placed, like the target I was going after I would basically have had to not go after some of those targets in order to get out of you heroically intervening me.
Yep. Yeah.
And I mean, additionally, like a lot of the stuff that I was charging was the stuff that I was aiming to kill. And I knew that if I didn't charge the units you were heroically intervening with, that you wouldn't overwatch me. So that was kind of my thinking. But simultaneously, like, I knew I was going to take huge blows.
That game was great though. Like if anybody's hearing this and hasn't watched it, you should go watch that Tyranid battle report because like the whole time it looked like I'm on the losing end. Like dang, he's up in my face. Like long fangs are down. Turn one. Like
Yeah,
it's not.
I was very aggressive off the bat, and like we traded a lot of blows, but early on, like I was like shocked even early game, like about the volume of fire you had. Like you were denting my Gene Stealers and my Hormagaunts.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And gotta say, Blood Claws are pretty cool too. But yeah, it's some Space Wolf rant. Oh, I even have the here's a picture of the board that we played on as well, just to show that. And that has that Death Ray design terrain in there. Gotta love that stuff. It's really cool terrain. But speaking of terrain, let's talk a little bit, James, about the terrain you've been working on. Here's some Tyranid terrain.
Wait, James has been working on terrain?
Yeah, dude.
I've been working on some terrain. Yeah.
3D printing? What?
And then here's a shot of you just posted this today with some 3D printed movement trays, and then a painted LED version of the Tyranid terrain there.
It's so dope.
It looks amazing.
It's so dope.
I see those slime effects too, James.
Yeah, that's what I was about to comment on, that slime effect, like a little spiderweb action.
My God, it's dope. Like, I actually hadn't seen that picture
It's
yet.
gross. It's not dope. I don't like it. Ugh, I don't want to touch that.
That is gorgeous. That makes me so happy to see. And that spire, dude, is...
Oh, yeah.
That spire's the tits. Like, my God.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some slime on the spire too.
Like the red part looks so great and like earthy and organic. Like it looks like it's like the biological equivalent of like what somebody would be hanging off a cliff from. Like it's perfect.
And then there's also this sick Space Wolf board, dude. Can't wait for that for kill teams even.
I'll have to check that out. Comment.
Tell us about the.
I lost George. What's going on?
Yeah, George is breaking up there pretty bad.
I'm breaking up.
Is it hurricane? Is it hurricane? What?
Am I breaking up?
You're good now, George. But like your voice was like echoing off into the distance.
Oh, weird. Well, I got hype on this. Because I got hype about this Space Wolf board that he's also making. I was asking about the brown tiles.
Yeah, that's cork.
Okay.
So they're just laid out right now. They're not like glued in or anything. I was just cutting them, trying to figure out how I was going to place them. But I am going to put those in there and then break them up, and that's going to be my rubble. And I don't like, some terrain makers will just put rubble out there and just like say, hey, this is my rubble. Mm-hmm. But where does it come from? Like, it has to come from somewhere. Like it just can't be
something
like
had to be destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't just get random things like calling it rubble. Like it just doesn't look right.
Right.
So I'm trying to think of the aesthetics of it, and I'm also trying to think of the functionality of it. So laying out those tiles like that,
dude,
when I go to glue them on and then pluck them back off and like create damage, those are gonna create my rubble piles. But I'm also gonna see if I have like clear placement to put like 40 mil models onto, because if a 40 mil model can fit there, a 25 mil model can fit there.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it's all about that placement. So like they can totally go around the board, different levels, get all that line of sight terrain, get that like whatever it's called.
Dude, that board's gonna be off the chains, dude.
You could easily also like just sources of rubble, and I'm sure you've thought of this already, James, but like especially now with one of your new toys, you could like partially like 3D print like like one of the like Imperial statues, and then obviously like be like, oh, this statue is destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh, exciting! Oh, we got a full house. Connor's jumping in too.
My God.
I would have to fill it in because the way these 3D prints work is it has like this like 20% or so infill, so it has like this structure on the inside. So I would have to fill that in with green stuff to make it look solid. But yeah, I could do things like that. I'm not going to do it to this board, though, because I literally have so much terrain and barrels and boxes that it's going to be littered with stuff anyways. It's just now like creating that like been battled on type feel. So I'm adding all that in, and then I'm going to add in all the extra little plastic bits.
I can't wait. I'm excited. Tell us also about this is one of your first pieces you printed. If you see it on screen there, I think you got your noise marine in front of this cool wall that you made, or like generator looking thing.
Yeah, I don't even know. It's an energy bank.
Yep.
Yeah, I printed to 150% scale with the designer, designed it too, and I even painted it, and it was really quick and easy to put down the paint and make it look tabletop ready.
Okay.
And yeah, pretty impressed with that. It took like 5 hours to print, but super cool considering it costs like $2.
Yeah, no, that's a great little piece of terrain right there, man. It's awesome.
Yo,
Yeah.
you know what file we have to buy, dude? That
All of
Horizon
them.
3D dude. Well, yeah, that Horizon 3D dude did a set though for some Kickstarter game, and it's like this Chaos Demonic Hill. It is really absurdly cool. I have to see if I can find it. I
Yeah.
think I actually shared it on the Warp Charge Gaming page at one point, like when I first bought the terrain set.
Oh, word,
Yeah, I
word.
don't know, man, but the Horizon 3D guy, man, he has these bio walls, and that's what I'm currently printing right now. I finished one this morning, and I have another one printing of a different version. And you didn't buy these in your original set, but these are super cool, like
Oh, word?
amazing line of sight blocking terrain. And it's like, oh, I just set up a wall, and I can hide like 25 gaunts behind it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, they're super cool. Like this one's printing right now, and it is at 37%. It'll probably be done printing in the next 3 to 4 hours, and then I'll start working on another one.
Dude.
It's kind of amusing to me how long these take to print is about how long it takes me to paint it.
Well, James, I can also tell you that's awesome. That's perfect. But there's a set I linked in chat yesterday night. It's like $30 for the whole set of files. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna buy that, and I think I want you to print off at least 2 sets of that.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Just buy some rolls of PLA, and
Absolutely.
we'll call it a day. They're like $20 for a kilogram.
Dude, I'll probably like throw down a hundo with all their stuff. I'm sure I'm gonna have you like
Oh shit!
enough for me.
I'm gonna need like new tips for my extruder and shit. I'm gonna need new wheels for the belts. Like it's gonna get to that
another
point.
printer. Fuck it.
You better
Yeah,
start
send me the bill.
print those parts. Just start printing those parts now.
Yeah, dude, I'm really in love with the CR10 printer. Like I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I do like it. Where it makes me want to get the Ender 3 just because it's $200 for a little kit, and like most of them have problems, but for like another $50 you can like figure out those problems, and then I would have like another little bit smaller printer for like $250.
Yeah. Yeah. Factory.
This is the CR10. It's like $450, James.
About that. But I got the CR10S. It's like their upgraded version.
Okay.
I am not even sure what the upgrade version is. Like I couldn't tell you the difference.
Well, obviously it stands for super. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
That sounds
It's
tight,
cool.
man. Jeez.
Dude, it's super
Cranking it
cool.
out.
James, I was telling Carson and George, like real talk, like using your painting services in the 3D printing, I want to have like the Tyranid board that like people look at on the internet. Like, oh, have you seen that picture? Like, dude, like we got to do that. Like,
Oh, dude, that's gonna be easy to do, man. Just with the files alone, if you throw in like just $60 on PLA, I
Dude,
could print you another 2 sets
I'm
of that
gonna
terrain.
more than throw you that. Like,
So yeah, I mean, we would be able to get at least 3 sets of that terrain for just a couple rolls. So basically, the price you'd be paying for 2 more sets, you're only really buying 1 more set.
I'm down.
And then I paint it all, and then I'm throwing in extra bio walls because these bio walls are sick.
Well, like I was telling, dude, I want to send you all that Imperial terrain to carve up and build like just like a ridiculous, like bunch of terrain.
We'll do it, and then if you buy those other files, man, we can be printing mid terrain for days, all for you, because it's not commercial resale. So anyone that's listening to this, I cannot sell it to you. But after Chris owns it for like, I don't know, a week, we might see it out there already painted, and
Anyways.
or hey guys, if there's like a really cool piece of terrain, it could end up a raffle item.
Yeah, you never know. Speaking of which, that's definitely something we need to conversate about at least off
Wait,
air.
What are we talking about?
We're talking
What?
about that we hit 1,000 subscribers. This is for we're like on the air for the first time with 1,000 subs. That happened.
What?
Oh, look, it's James. Dude, I'm so happy. So happy to hit that number. It's been a great couple weeks ever since Nova. We've gone up 150 subs and growing fast. So that definitely feels sweet. And, terrain.
Yeah, this
Nice.
is Biowall.
Oh, it looks definitely cooler in person than in picture.
Yeah. It's got a blue tip because I ran out of yellow.
Oh man, I love it. I have actually there. I remember from the Carytown Watermelon Festival, George. There was a 3D printing booth. I have like the sword from Adventure Time. That's a 3D printed sword. It's like 4 different colors.
Word.
Nice.
I was impressed when the first thing James printed was that freaking like puzzle piece like road to that race car track for your kid. That was pretty awesome.
Oh, dude. He's so excited.
What up, Connor?
What up?
Like,
What up, Chris?
we already have it worked out. Like, between the 3 of us, like, we have this printer on lock. Like, it's never going to be shut off. Because I print him something, I print myself something, then I print Chris something. Then I print him something, then I print me something, and then I print Chris something. And that's how it's been. And that's how it's going to keep going. And he has reminded me. He just left with his mom to go see his Nana. And he reminded me, like, hey, when you're done with Chris's print, you're going to print my track, right? Because he just wants more track pieces.
That's awesome. I need to grab that picture, man. It was good. It looked like it fit perfect, dude.
No, yeah, dude. Someone literally made the exact scale of the toy itself, so it goes perfectly. Like, instead of buying these $30 town sets, I can print one track for like 75 cents, and then like just build it out how I want to.
That's gotta impress the missus, dude. Was Mrs. Schaff
Oh,
impressed or what?
Dude, I think that's what saved it because she thought I was wasting $500 on this thing.
Nice.
She was like, "What are you doing? Like, we could use that for so many other things." I'm like,
that's every
you don't
Christmas
even know.
Covered. That's
And then
We
you're
can
like,
literally use this
blam.
for all the things.
Endless
like,
happiness.
I'll print the new sink. Fuck it.
Dude.
Like, dude, there's gonna be a knit table. Then there's gonna be my table. Then there's gonna be a Necron table, and like it's just gonna go insane.
Start like just like print some like new dishes or something and be like blam.
Print me a
You're terrible, George.
I'm not saying that it has anything to do with women. I'm just saying that, print something that she would be like cool about.
Oh, that's hilarious.
What's the cost on disposable plates versus 3D printed
Exactly.
plates?
Oh my god.
I think
It takes 5 hours to print and 3 minutes to eat what's on it and throw away.
yeah.
I
Also,
mean, you're
it's not
gonna
microwave safe.
use them like 2 or 3 times at least, right?
Yeah, but you can't put it in the microwave, otherwise it'll melt.
Well,
Oh,
Just cold plates, dude. Just potato salad. That's all you eat that off.
Bowls for cereal.
Bowls for
hand
cereal.
I can't think of any like normal thing that your wife would be stoked to have. Does she want anything printed? You got to figure something out. I mean, granted,
Fake
dude.
pearls.
kid's
3D
happy,
print 'em.
she's happy. Yeah.
Literally, the only
Anniversary
thing I
gifts,
thought
yeah.
of was like a charging station for her to organize her shit.
Okay.
But that literally is about it, and that's why she was like, "This is a waste of money." But I'm like, "No, it's so cool. You have no idea."
Interesting.
Dude, it's very interesting. This is like I seriously see this technology being in people's homes in 20 years, like everywhere.
It's
Like,
in your
just
home
gonna-
right now.
But it's going to be like the standard, like. And what's really funny, I don't even have a standard printer. Like, I don't print on paper. I go to the library for that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Saying $500 is a waste of money on a 3D printer.
literally,
You
like,
spend $200 to $300 on a
library.
normal printer. That's just paper.
Right. Yeah. Totally.
in a pinch, you could like 3D print your list.
You want the rest of that bonchon?
Yeah.
I mean, that thing's definitely cheaper than expected, man. I mean, $500 is affordable to what that thing could do because it's a money machine. Like people,
Well, even the $200 Ender, that thing is pretty sweet.
Yeah, dude. If anyone wanted to get into 3D printing, the $200 Ender 3 is your entry step. It's a kit though, so like,
Yeah, but
there's problems that come along with it. But if you're a tinkerer, dude, it's worth it.
yeah, like I'm not afraid of building that shit.
Yeah, no,
It looks like
nothing.
nothing compared to building a computer.
It really isn't, dude. This shit's easy. I mean, they're I-frames, so they're like really easy to put together. You're using T-nuts to assemble everything. And then for the electronics, it's literally already put together. You just plug it in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so simple.
Nice.
I can connect A to B.
Yeah,
Dude,
right. Yeah, I'm pretty good at instructions.
It's Z to Z, X to X, and Y to Y.
Whoa, my bad.
But if you can do that, you can work in Ender 3.
The tech revolution is here. It sounds like that's crazy.
Oh, I
What are all
think
these
that
letters you guys are
fantastic.
talking about?
It's math, Herrera. X
My
equals
God.
Y.
Dude, it's your axis.
X
Man. You get your
equals Y.
Z axis, your Y axis, and your X axis. Ice Wolf knows about it. Is Ice Wolf here?
I don't know. He
He
didn't.
wasn't tagged,
He
yeah.
didn't quality control me yet because I think I have the stream name still. Oh no, it's correct. How did I get that going on?
I did it.
You did?
When my
Busy.
camera is off, that was the things I was doing in the background.
You fixed everything? Did you even put the thumbnail up?
I don't think I did that.
All right, I got that. Dang, dude. Way to handle it. Way to handle it.
Wondering, I was like, oh, look at that banner.
So yo, James, tell me about you played a tournament since last week. How'd that go?
I've actually played 2 tournaments since I've last been on here.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
One was a doubles tournament. My buddy Mark and I won it.
James,
We squeaked it out. And yeah.
first, congratulations. Second, I'm jealous of how much tournament 40k you get to play.
I play at least once a month, mostly twice a month.
Oh, I need to do that shit.
But
Right.
I'm jealous of your non-tournament 40k because I am lucky to get in 1 game in a month of non-tournament 40k.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, I see the difference.
So like when I play 40k, I'm playing at tournaments. So like if I practice lists, I'm practicing RTTs to take them to GTs.
To be
That's
fair,
not terrible though. It's like a good environment to practice.
Oh, especially with these dick smashers, man. Like they are
Dick
straight
smashers.
dick
Whoa.
smashers around here, and I mean that in the kindest way.
Yeah, I mean a big, bad, beefy list.
Yeah,
I mean,
just some nasty lists.
I was gonna say, James. I mean, it kind of reminds me like when I first started back into 40k, like the tail end of 6th. I played a tournament and just got my crap kicked in by the Long War guys because it was their shop, and like, my God, you guys I feel like have a much bigger population of 40k presence in your area, and it is that level of play just constantly, it seems like.
Yeah, no, the tournament play is like that kind of level of play, but then there's also the secret dungeon level of play that takes it even further. And you laugh about that, but those are the people that win these big GTs. Like
You're saying people that keep with that
Bongo and
they like
Dungeon
hold tight.
crawlers.
You're saying
Yeah,
they hold tight to their list or what?
no, they
No,
hold
they-
tight to their groups.
They don't stray out. I remember them talking about this when we were out at Adepticon, George. Like, there's these people that like will only play with 2 or 3 people. It seems like, behind closed doors, but like show up for these events and like clean house.
Yeah, they don't show up to the RTTs. If they do, it's early in the season just to get their scores. But they only show up to the GTs or they travel, and they're great. I mean, they're friendly when you see them. I mean, you already know the internet drama that goes along with them, but they're friendly when you see them. And there was a Chicago GT that was this past weekend, and it was a 2-day 5-round event. And those guys showed up for day 1, and it was battle points, not win-loss like you would normally see. So if they weren't getting 30 points in a game, they were very upset. So by day 2, there was like 8 drops
That
because
sucks.
they couldn't compete. And I mean undefeated, but because of the way the points work out, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, no matter how many points you get.
Was that advertised prior to the GT?
I guess they did a poll to the Facebook group of the area, the Chicagoland 40K Facebook group, and they asked if they wanted to be win, loss, or battle points, and the majority said battle points. And I know why. It's because those same people, if they get a loss round 1 or 2, they end up dropping because they know they need to go undefeated. So in my opinion, it really doesn't matter their format. Those people are still going to drop if they don't do very well.
Yeah.
Dropping is such cowardice.
Well, they value their time differently, I guess. But it was a $45 tournament that was at a game store, and they didn't show up for day 2. So it's a pretty expensive 2 games.
Yeah, indeed.
But it was overall a good event. I mean, they had a lot of prize support, custom dice, objective markers. I personally don't like battle points. That's just me. I think you win the game to win the game. I don't like when someone else can steal first place victory, even though they might have had a loss where second place didn't. And that's just my personal opinion. But round 1, Magnus Morty with Zangors, and tabled him turn 3. First game to finish for the day. So he got extra dice for being tabled first out of anybody in the tournament.
That's cool.
And then game 2, I played a very mirror match game that was on their Facebook Live podcast stream or whatever it was. And I was too nice of a guy, man. I really was. I'm there to have fun. And this guy was not familiar with the chess clock. And top 3 tables are supposed to run chess clocks. Mm-hmm. I own a chess clock. I play most games with the chess clock. But because he was unfamiliar with it, I decided not to use it. That kind of bit me in my ass because we literally went all the way to the wire of time just to get to turn 4.
Yep.
And if you don't complete turn 4, you got 0 for the points because you didn't get to even to turn 4. That was their policy for the tournament.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So that really sucked because I was just hurrying to get the turns over. But there was a 3-inch charge that I needed to make. I rolled a snake eyes, and obviously, if you're within an inch, you make the charge. He wanted to question it, and he was counting the thickness of the building as too far, and it was an MDF like maybe a half a millimeter, and that was his logic. Was I was on the other side of that thickness, and that thickness was 3 inches away. So I was like, fine. I failed the charge, and I let him like do things like out of phase. He would forget something. There's probably 20 times I was very lenient with him, and on that he wasn't going to be. And then at the very end, I hurried up and just thought about secondaries.
Right.
And I forgot about the primary, and I didn't kill anything in that turn. And all I needed to do was put 1 wound on a demon prince that I had 3 units that could shoot at it. Like, it wasn't like I couldn't even target it. And if I would have did 1 wound, I would have killed something and killed more, which would have tied us. But I did. I just chose not to do these actions, let him finish out his actions. And he won by those 2 points.
So you literally skipped the shooting. He wouldn't let you take
I
3
completely
shots?
skipped it all just so that he could get his turn in so that we didn't get 0 points.
Yeah, that's gross. That feels all gross inside.
Yeah, and it was on stream. And like literally, like Lobo was watching it happen.
Yeah, that's poopy.
And
sucks.
So when I watched it all go down, I was like, wow. Like his points wouldn't have changed. He still would have got his 22, but I would have got 22 also. Instead of 18 and getting a loss, which changed my placement for round 2 or round 3.
Yeah.
But he ended up winning the tournament, and I beat one of the people that he beat also, and I would have played the other person. He didn't play, but he got top chaos where I didn't. So like that game decided my like whole future of the GT.
Damn.
And my next round was against this. Was it Aaron? He's on Team Happy also. I forgot his name.
Aaron Tower.
Yeah. He had just a huge dick smasher of a list. It literally, when we saw each other's list, we were like, okay, so whoever goes first wins, right? He had Gilliman, 2 with the repulsor tanks, 3 predators, 2 smash captains, Mephiston, and some scouts.
Jesus.
It was nasty. He got to go first and killed 40 cultists. My Noise Marine squad, my Berserker squad, my Leviathan, all turn 1.
Yeah.
So it was just back foot from there. I conceded turn 3 because all I had left was 2 units of cultists.
Yeah.
And I only got 7 points. So on a battle score tournament, getting 7 points put me out of the running of everything possible.
Wow.
And then my next 2 opponents, I pretty much had them easily handled it. Like it was Sisters. He wrecked me turn 1, but because of my list and just being like a better player, making smart moves with position and just playing the mission, I was able to win that one by like 5 points. And then the next one I won by like 10 points with ease. Like I didn't have to try hard.
Yeah. So I got a question. So what would you tell people what can you do to go against that Dick Smasher list you mentioned that had like killing you, basically making you concede by turn 3? Like, had you gone first, would that have helped in that game, or was his shit just so?
If I would have gone first, I would have won that game.
Oh no, without doubt.
Well, I mean, it would have. Dice come into a factor, yes, but statistically, I should have won that game because he had no screens besides some scouts, and I have like my ways of getting through those. Yeah. So all he was left with his predators, his repulsors, and Gilliman, and then the smash captains coming in turn 2. So what I would have done, actually, I think he started him on the board, and he put him in buildings in the cover to block me from coming in from the rear. But either way, with Berserkers, they can
up a little bit on my streams.
Oh well, with Berserkers, they can pile in, consolidate, and then for 3 command points, they can pile in, consolidate. And even if you don't have a target, if you activate to fight again, you still pile in and consolidate.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do with Berserkers is I will charge into something. First, I infiltrate them, so I'm 3 inches away from you. I make sure there's like 1 or 2 models left. I'll open up some holes, like put a couple of wounds on them with just bolt pistols or something like that. And then when I open up those holes, I charge. I take my one dude, get within an inch, but I'm not touching base to base. And then all my other dudes I take further than that unit.
Yep.
And I try to pile into other units. Even if they were outside 12 inches, I can't attack them if I get into combat with them. Even if I have another phase of attacks to go, I can't attack them. But I can continue piling into them. So if I can get past something where I'm like 6 inches from a tank or something, I'll use 3 command points just to pile into those tanks so that they can't shoot again.
When you do the fight again stratagem, are you able to fight against something you didn't charge at that point, or still?
No, you're not. You're still limited. So I'm using just 3 command points for 6 inches of movement. But
I like
it's 6 inches of movement that I.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
It's really cool. I mean, that's like for like people may not be thinking that way. So hopefully that sounds like something interesting to somebody checking this video out, of just like, oh yeah, like just you get one guy that engages without going base to base, and the rest of them, as long as you make contact with one model out of the unit with the charging target, you can spread yourself out all over the place otherwise with the rest of the charge distance.
Yeah, as long as you stay in coherency.
Right. And
so
when you pile in, you can get everybody soaked up in it.
Exactly. And granted, they get to attack, like even though you might not be able to attack them, they can attack. But if it's vehicles like tanks,
right,
you're not even worried because they're hitting on 6s.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's cool. I thought the answer might be that you need a similar dick smashing list, but the idea that you're, different dynamic than the rest of the meta out there can still handle that. It's just a matter of who goes first. Hey, I can, okay.
I have to say every game I play, my opponent is truly mesmerized by my list and how I play it, because I have just strategic units doing strategic jobs. Like I have noise marines that are designed to take Overwatch, to die in Overwatch, so that when they die, I get to shoot your character in the charge phase, because it's not the shooting phase. So that allows my Berserkers to then do their thing and tail in to touch something that potentially could shoot me off the table and not allow it to shoot.
That makes me happy that my characters are not for buffs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
and then my cultists, I use them to wrap a unit. And I mean, literally, I'll just wrap one base so that they can't be shot at. And then I tail them to be my screening character, like my screen for all my characters.
I got another question.
Allow my demon princes to move in and do whatever they want to do.
And in those 2 different events that you played at, did you go against Tyranids at all?
Actually, I did not go against Tyranids at all.
Isn't that sad, Chris? Listen to that.
Tyranids was represented. There was 2 Tyranid lists at the GT, and there was 1 Tyranid at the doubles. The Tyranid list at the GT one was ran by Gary Frank, who did 8th. He does pretty well normally. And then the other one was Tyler Rowe, who drove all the way from Oshkosh, Wisconsin to the Chicagoland GT. It was like a 4-hour drive, rented a hotel, and he took Best General. He didn't get Best Overall, but he got Best General with it.
Tyranids. Okay, cool. Yeah. Respect.
I got some interesting facts about the GT. Just looking at the BCP right now, that the Tyler Rowe guy got 2nd overall. There were not any. He's playing Kraken, Chris. And there were no undefeated players in the whole GT. Well, there were 2 undefeated players, but they both dropped.
Yep.
And the guy, the guy in first place had a loss. He just had more battle points than everybody else. And he was playing the Yanari Reaper Spear thing with some Harlequins. And
he's a really good player, and that was a nasty list.
Yeah, I mean, it's gross. The addition of the bikes in there and the death gestures to do character sniping and leadership stuff is really cool. And was the guy that you played, was his name Kareem?
Yeah, Kareem.
He got 3rd overall.
Yeah, no, and that's where I probably would have been if I would have literally got my 2 points.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's rough.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It just made me interested. It gave me this weird feeling about a GT that I never expected. Because I go to have fun. I have my own mental points of having a great time, where I don't necessarily care about winning. Someone can smash me like Aaron did, and I'd be okay with it because I already accepted it beforehand. But when I beat myself, the Kareem one, that affected me all day long. And then into the next day where I was like, man, should I drop? It was crazy. But the next day he was like, dude, I stayed up all night, looking at the rules you use to do things. I learned so much. And because most people don't know that the Noise Marines can do what they do. And then with the cultists, people use them as a power unit, to kill stuff. And they're my positioning unit. They're there to string out so far and to tie you up and to become a human barricade. That people that play Chaos don't see how to use that properly because they're looking for how much power I can put out. People are looking for bloodletter bombs. They're looking for plague bear screens. They're looking for all those type of combos. The plague drones. Everyone wants to put out as much power as possible. I think the fun in the game is the finesse.
No, I think that's cool. You definitely do a good job at accenting that. But I also got reminded via Connor there about the Best Coast pairing. He was mentioning checking out BCP, how Connor was able to look that up. Bam, let me show you this thumbnail. We're about to teach you how he did that. But Best Coast pairing tutorial is coming your way soon. Best Coast pairing app is amazing and tied into the ITC, independent tournament circuit. It's pretty much the standard in competitive play when it comes to organizing your events and participating in them. So if you've never checked out Best Coast pairing, you literally, if you're a subscriber, you can look at every tournament that's ran as an official event through the ITC format. And it's it's not even ITC isn't just 40K straight up either. I guess it's also literally Shadespire, Kill Teams, all kinds of different games are represented by Best Coast pairing. And you can look at all these different events that are showcased through Best Coast pairing and be able to see people, what faction they were playing, who they were, and what kind of consistency they do across multiple events. And oftentimes, and hopefully, the players have actually put up their list. It's usually a good tournament organizer or a good community, or the event requires it, that you'll see lists posted. I know that it's been talked about, even at Nova, they were discussing, should list posting be mandatory? And I think that's a fun concept, too, about how some events are doing, crowdsourced list checking, where you have to post your event to the community as a whole and everybody looks over your stuff. And if there's a problem, it gets, red flagged. I think that stuff's cool.
What's funny about that is Connor's looking at that GT and all the list posts. And Connor, you saw how every single one of those lists are posted except for one person's?
I did notice that. I did indeed. I was looking for that guy's list because I know he's running Nanavati's list.
He was. Isn't that very interesting considering that it was a mandatory poster list tournament?
Really, what it was?
When the day before registration, you were supposed to post your list.
I don't even understand like why people would want to shroud that stuff in secrecy because like
they cheat.
The most innovative Eldari thing that's happened, in my opinion, on the tournament scene is Nanavati's list from Nova because that thing was just so off the wall and weird, and everybody already knows what that is because it was at Nova. But otherwise, if you're playing Ynnari, you're playing Spears and Reapers.
How did he perform all together?
There are
Connor?
no other Ynnari lists except for Spears and Reapers.
Yeah.
Do you know what Nick's rank was, Connor?
Third.
He got third, yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, put him in the number 1 in ITC overall.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
it's a crazy list. It's really cool.
Oh, dude, it's the sickest list.
I ran something similar to it at Nova, and it does work, man. It's hard to use, but it does. The grotesques are just incredible,
dude. Out of all the elves, grotesques, and those Harlequin bikes that have the haywire launchers.
Oh yeah, God.
Dude, the combination of those 2 units and the Agents of Vex strat literally just hurt my feelings. People want to
Agents of Vex,
dude. I have yet to lose against Knights. I have literally played the full list. The big knight with the little knights, the captain, the whole battery of CP. I've played it. I've beat it every time. I cannot beat grotesques, haywire launchers, and Agents of Vex. It is so gross.
Agents of Vex should be once a game.
I agree. I think that's what we're going to see in the FAQ. If we don't, I'm going to cry, like just one tear, because my soul will hurt.
Single rolling tear.
Because they did it to Titans of Traitors. They don't let me use it once a game.
Yeah.
Like all I need to use it is once a game. It's such a good stratagem. You give a good player it once a game, it's still worth it. You give Nick Nanavati Agents of Vex just once in a game, it is still worth it.
Yeah.
He'll still put it in his list because it is the best stratagem in the whole game.
Absolutely, because it's the anti-stratagem. It's like
exactly.
Yeah. But another cool fact about the tournament, your buddy Mark, that's your friend, right? Mark Nobles.
Oh, he got one win.
4th with 1 win.
One win.
Awesome.
He got 4th out of 5 games. He lost 4 games and got 4th.
I respect to him because that's amazing. But
it blew his mind. It literally blew his mind.
I've never seen a tournament do that.
Points either, man. It just doesn't vibe.
The only reason why they're doing it here is because of the Dick Smasher lists that are around. Because the way everyone takes it so seriously that if they lose round 1 and everyone's so good, they'll just go home. Like they don't need to see the whole rest of the day. Like they'll just go home if they lose round 1.
That's such a bummer.
And when you're trying to organize a tournament and you're trying to keep pairings good and people not have buys and like they even have a ringer there just in case, like it messes things up for people. So for them, they just started doing battle points because if everyone does it somewhat close to the same and you might have one bad game, but you can have one great game because you submarined a little bit, like it makes it more competitive where they don't leave in the middle of the day.
Tragic.
Yeah.
I think it's tragic though.
Yeah,
I think it's tragic, man. I went 4-4 at Nova, but I played every last game.
Respect.
And I had one game against a dude on day 2 where like it was so close, or like it wasn't like that close, but he really wanted to play out the last turn, and we like already went to time. Like, and it was like a 10-minute turn for both of us. And we were like whatever, let's just like, he really wanted to rock it. So I was like, okay, let's rock it really quick and see if you can get these points that you really want to get. Cause like that's just cool. You just got to play these games, man. Everybody's out here trying to play. You can't just drop.
Yeah. It's really, I mean, I take what I know. I almost like I don't want to call anyone out cause I had some people drop and I didn't like it. I'll tell you that. It doesn't make me feel good as an organizer when people lose and then go home.
I mean, George, you take fun seriously, dude.
I take fun seriously, It's kind of
so do I. That's why I committed
passion.
to day 2.
Yeah, you gotta go, man.
Respect. Yeah, it's like, what the fuck, dude? If you're gonna spend money and do time and put it all aside, and like, what do we do this game for? And if it's all about winning, then you're missing the point.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, it's all about playing and trying to get better. That's why I like playing 40k because it's just
that's how I saw it when I first started going to tournaments. It's because I didn't have anyone to play with. Like it was just me and Matt. Like we didn't know anyone else who played 40k, so we went to events to meet people who play 40k. So that was our main reason. And then we got good. And then like it became about winning, but also like we still never lost the whole fact of like we just want to go have fun with our friends.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I definitely enjoy winning, but then after that, like even in a game, like if you're losing, right, like you still have to find the joy in like where's the moral victory. Like if I'm getting my ass kicked to like a Gilliman gun line, I want to kill Gilliman. I don't need, like I have to kill him. You know,
when I lost the roll to go second, that was my new goal.
Yeah.
And then when turn 1 happened, my new goal was to kill 1 tank.
Yeah.
Right.
And I did it.
Yeah.
I killed 1 tank and 1 tech marine, and I was like, all right, cool.
Well, you know, like I can think of many, many times when I've been on the back, like here comes the loss, and I will still get like over the top hype to kill that tank type thing. Like, oh yeah, motherfucker, well, you may have killed me, but I'm going to take that guy out, and I'll just get hype as shit. You know,
exactly.
And like you kill him and you're like fist in the air. Like everyone will look over the table like you're the winner. But in reality, you're just the most hype about killing this one guy.
Like George and I played earlier. You guys can watch that on YouTube. And I got pretty thoroughly shellacked by like turn 3. It was looking pretty bad. But I mean, you know, my goal on turn 4 was like see how many points I can get, because that's always good practice. And then like, can I kill these Thundercalves?
Yep.
Sadly, I didn't kill the Thundercav.
But Murderfang. Then you went for Murderfang, though.
I did go for Murderfang. Also didn't kill him.
Yep.
You didn't kill Murderfang?
Dude, it was. We'll have to talk about this game, Chris. It was there was some funny moments.
Yeah.
There was some good stuff going on.
Yeah.
I got thoroughly whipped too, so don't feel too bad.
Oh yeah. I don't feel bad at all. Dude, Space Wolf Brigade is pretty serious, dude. You know, when you have the tactical genius of George Rollins behind it,
look
you
at
better
me go.
watch your ass, dude.
The G-roll.
I'm only riding it high and taking all the bat packs because I've been on a losing streak. So feels good to get some wins in, gents.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
Speaking of which, trophy case, rub it in. Yeah. I'm just excited to show that, but really I just wanted to show you this picture. Look at all of those chips and chops. That is me editing the shit out of the Kill Team Finals.
Wait,
we can't see your picture, George.
Yo, you'll see it. It's coming.
Oh.
Whose are those for?
Who's what for?
Those certificates and awards. Who won those?
Oh, that's me, dog. That's all me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, I didn't beat this guy, Elliot. Elliot's a cool dude, a nice motherfucker, but he totally took the win, and I was gunning for his ass. If you hear me now, Elliot, you son of a bitch, that was supposed to be mine.
George is, of course, kidding.
He's not kidding at all.
No, I really.
You gotta rock that PR, George.
I wanted it bad. I wanted it real bad.
Dude, honesty is the new PR.
You just wait till.
Authenticity.
Look at those new dice. They're gonna roll so hot. There's no way we'll be stopped.
I like how Chris is like out of his frame right now. Just like
yeah.
There's a
look at some 3D printed Kill Team token holders and the World Warp Charge dice being represented. If you see those 6s there at Nova Open, they actually apparently I heard a story that someone had to dice check us because our dice were rolling too hot. And if you watch the Kill Team bat reps that I posted. Yeah, dude. If you watch the bat reps that I posted, you will see there was also a commenter is like, I see that you roll a ton of 6s. Because one of the games that I lost on was because I rolled a 6 on the morale test. And he's like, dude, you were rolling so many 6s, like it just came back to bite you in the ass in the end. So
the dice check passed, though.
Yes, the dice check passed, apparently.
How do you do a dice check?
I don't know.
Put it in water.
Is it water?
Because remember, we did that, George. We did that like months ago with some dice.
Trying to microwave some shit?
No, I bought dice and they stuck, so we put them in water because David told us about that, and then it was like still kind of inconclusive. But
as most things David say are
the bastard dice cup that George.
You have to put a bunch of the die in water and see what sides float to the surface. If they come up more or less random, assortment, then like you assume that they are fair. But if you put them in and you get overwhelmingly one result up top, then they're probably not fair.
Well, Warcraft dice are always fair.
I was just thinking, like, how funny would it be? Like, how annoyed would somebody be if, like, you're the ref at a tournament and you come up with a glass of water? Like, I need to see your dice, please. You put them on like a cup of water. You just then you just like walk away with them still in the water, and they don't have anywhere to pour it or anything.
Like, dude, do you have a towel for my dice, bro?
He's good.
Good.
Keep it moving. Yeah. Well, surely I asked Cheswick specifically to make sure that these are plenty weighted, so we should be wrecking in the next tournament you see us in. Coming soon.
I need them. I gotta make those 5-up invols.
Dude, I mean, you're only good at 40k if you roll good, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, Joe, you should watch our game. If I'm horrible at 40k, I cannot roll. It's bad.
He pulled out the dice app on 50 attacks from Harlequins, and he got 16 ones. From the dice app.
Suck.
Yes.
It was good.
If anyone's wondering if the dice app is random, no, it hates Connor.
It hates elves, dude. Along with everybody else that I know, it hates elves.
Yeah, they're bastards. I'm saying. I feel like I feel the need to show the dice app because there's people that might not be aware of this amazing opportunity to roll a lot of dice easily.
There's an app for dice.
It'll be very useful in October.
Right. That's when I got it. That's when I got it originally. It was for Orcs. So it's called Assault Dice, and it's actually made by Games Workshop. So it is legit.
Legit.
Yeah. See if I can show it to you.
Dude, I think I should just download that right now. That sounds like a good idea.
Oh, it's a badass thing to have on your iPad for sure. So bam, you guys are seeing Assault Dice on the screen there. There's the dice. This even had and then you just right now I got 16 dice loaded up. We can get in the frame. There we go.
Oh man, it's beautiful.
I can't see at the same time. Okay, is it roll?
Move it, George, to your there you got it.
There you go. And so then you can see at the top it picks out the denominations. And let's say that I'm re-rolling ones. So I'm gonna hit the 2 real quick. And it puts all the ones down in this little bucket in the side. And I can double tap that bad boy. And there was like 50 dice in there, so that didn't work. But yeah, it's a good app. It's called Assault Dice. You should check it out. You can roll a shit ton of dice.
I just bought it for $1 or 99 cents.
It's worth it. See? Dude, I'm a salesman.
You paid one whole doll hair? That's just maniacal, Jay.
Well, not a whole one. Only 99 cents.
Oh, look at that. Salesmanship.
You should have 3D printed that.
I wonder if I should.
I can't 3D print someone else's app.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Do you think I should? I should probably make my Shadespire videos the same way I made these Kill Team videos. The Shadespire I recorded at Nova. But yeah, don't. It sucks that the amount of how much I care dictates how much I want to edit something. Why can't I be more machine-like and do things no matter what without care?
Carson, you play Necrons, you do it.
Emotions get in the way of progress. That's profound. I'm just gonna say that.
Dude, this dice thing still has a scatter die. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it sure does.
That's like what I say to people if they're completely useless. Say you're as useful as a scatter die.
Oh, 40k bust.
Ha.
That's good. That's good. Sick burn.
Right? I thought it was.
Just for the sake of running through the rest of the material, because we're about to reach an hour, this is a orc kill team that I recorded earlier in the week. I'm going to edit it up and you can see what happened. I thought that having 16 Gretchen could be viable. I won at the local store. We'll have to see what happened at home here. I went against the Gene Stealer cult. And I'm really excited for this. Is just something I've talked about each week. I can't wait for the Rogue Trader box to come out. These new Nurgle dudes look amazing.
Yeah, the Lucid Dean Star Striders look awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and It seems like Games Workshop might be doing a whole rogue trader faction is one of the rumors that's floating around. Because that's a new keyword that's been unveiled with the Star Striders.
Oh, I'm feeling it.
That's something I would definitely play. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I'm super pumped on it, man. All that's really exciting. I definitely dig the 40k mini codexes in with the kill team boxes.
It's rad.
I like the games living hand in hand. But yeah, I think we're getting close to the end here, guys. Just to round it out, we definitely have a dice giveaway going on. It's been going on all month, and we are soon to have our 1,000 subscriber raffle giveaway thing that we've been planning for like a year, but it's taken us that long to get to this many subscribers. So we're really excited for that. The new dice is coming up on the old warpchargegaming.com. We have a shop that just went live where you can actually order shorts, and soon we'll have dice up there as well. We got these 5 colors and some Vortex orange.
Speaking of which, of shirts. They come out of Raleigh, North Carolina, so hopefully they're still around.
Oh no, the shirts.
Raleigh should be fine. They're inland, and they're inland.
I don't know. I just know North Carolina's getting hit, and they're coming. And I think my shirt shipment has been delayed because of such.
Hurricanes. Soon you're going to see a how to use Best Coast Pairing app as a tournament organizer and as a player. It is a fantastic app, and you might as well go ahead and download it now and get ready for how cool it is. We just told you about Assault Dice by GW to roll stuff really easily. We got some Space Wolf battle reports up. We got some Kill Team battle reports up, as well as tournament coverage from Nova Open, as well as an interview with Elliot, the winner of the Kill Team's Nova Open. And yeah, you can watch Space Wolves fight Tyranids and Eldar. So check all that out. You can catch James painting live on Twitch every Wednesday about 8 o'clock.
Most Wednesdays,
as long as things are good.
Those technical issues.
Right. We're 3D printing stuff now, and that's exciting. There's going to be more things to come. There's going to be some events here in the Richmond, Virginia area held at Battlegrounds in October. We're looking at the dates of October 13th and the 20th for both a Kill Teams tournament here in our area, which I'm excited to host, as well as a Shadespire event. And also on September 23rd here locally, we're going to be rounding out our first trial campaign at the store at Battlegrounds, and I'm looking forward to starting the second campaign. We're going to be running them in 3-month increments with big battles once a month between all the campaign members. So all kinds of fun stuff happening. Anyone else got anything to add before we jump off?
Nope.
Nice. Rock on. Look at the big doggy.
Taking fun seriously.
Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in, both the homies on the call and the old YouTube out there. We had a consistent like 12 people watching out. 4 of those people might be us ourselves, but thank you to all of you.
You guys rock.
Yeah. Keep rocking the good times. We're going to keep doing the same, and we'll catch you here soon.
Deuces.
Seriously.
Peace, everybody.